Hey everyone, welcome back to the bench and to a slightly new looking studio. So yeah, I've done some upgrades. Been playing around, been building to improve the sound mainly, really. That's why you can see these sound absorbers up everywhere. And I want to put them up. It made me look like I was in a toilet. So that's why I decided to stick the LED lights up. And I'm having fun and I quite like the background for when I'm talking to you. I thought I'd be able to theme videos with different colours. Hey, we shall see what comes out of it. Anyhow, thank you, Patreon. Your support is going a long way into building this channel and it's coming back to you. It really is. So what are we up to today? Right, let's get on with some weaving. Yeah, so we're going to follow the same engineering as we did last week. We're going to make another cuff. We're going to get hammers out. We're going to do a bit of twisted wire as well today. But we're focusing on weaving again. And again, I know it's the same weave pattern I've shown you before. But this is the count towards your 10,000 hours. Now, if you're one of these people who is following along and actually making everything I'm doing as we're going along, this will really help you again, because I know you've already done it, but you will get better and better and better at weaving. So again, this is counting towards your 10,000 hours, but we're going to make something really cool. We really are. We're going to make a cuff. I really did enjoy making the practice pieces I did in the week, so I can't wait to show you. So I'm about to get the overhead camera out and we shall have a look. Nice one. But before we move on, I'd just like to say, if you really are enjoying these free tutorials and these workshops, maybe pop on over to Patreon, show me some love there and join up with one of my tiers, or you can buy me a cup of tea. All links are in the description. Nice one. Right, let's get that overhead camera out and let me show you what we're going to make today. So here we go. This is what we're up to today. Same cuff as what we made in the last video, same engineering, but we're going to weave this time. And let's get the hammers out. Let's get the drill out. Let's twist some wire. And then let's weave until our heart's content. Nice one. But yeah, you can see it better angle here. I do like making these cuffs. They go quite well. They actually sell quite well. I've noticed that cuffs, or, you know, especially for people who like to wear copper for their arthritis or something like that. This seems to be a popular thing to sell. Cool. Here's another one. Here we go. Here's the other one. So this one, slightly different. We decided to not bind it in every other weave or so, you know. So I went for a pattern that left a lot more bare wire. So this is something to consider when we're about to go into now and we're about to start weaving. It's something to consider your pattern. You know, it's exactly the same thing, but you can see the difference here of how many times I joined and how much I didn't join. It really does make a difference to the piece. So, you know, this is up to you. It really is. Right, let's get some tools out and let's see what we're going to need to make these. So what tools are we going to need for today? As usual, we want our chain nose, flat nose. Number one, tools at our side at all times. You're going to want a pair of heavy duty cutters today. We're going to be cutting wire thicker than 18 gauge. And you're going to want a pair of bell pliers with mandrel sizes of 2mm and 3mm. Now, I understand not everybody might have this in the box. This is where I recommend the old round nose to come out. They can replace that quite easily. Tweezers. You're going to want a metal file today. Most important, we're going to be wanting to round our ends of our wires off. We're going to be using thicker wire today. So we really want to pay attention to our ends today, most definitely. So a small metal file will definitely be needed. As usual, marker pen, ruler, masking tape. Might not need it. We might need it, but it's one of those things, again, I always suggest have it out at your side at all times. Hammering block. We're going to want that today. Well, you don't have to hammer today. You can make this without hammering. You really can. But I like getting the hammer out and I like to hit stuff. So yeah, we're getting the hammering block out. So the hammers I will be using today is a chasing hammer and a rubber hammer. Those are the two main hammers for today. And also I will be using a textured hammer. As you can see at the end here, it's got a nice, I'm going to go with those. And if you've got anything like this, get it out. But you know what? If you haven't, you can use the back end of your chasing hammer. You can texture with this again. I recommend having a go. You can't see it here, but what else will need today is the drill to make some twisted wire. Can't quite fit it in the picture. Right, what gauges are we going to be using today? So as you can see here, I've got a nice thick one out. We've got some 2mm, which is 12 gauge. Now, you might not have this in the box. You can come down in wire sizes, but we are making a cuff. We are making a bracelet. I sometimes find these kind of things is where the heavy gauge wires come out. And obviously hammering this and texturing this, it's going to look good. Bit of 16 gauge, 1.25mm. That's the other one. So if you haven't got any 2mm, just use 2 pieces of the 16 gauge, 1.25 mil. And we're going to be using, for twisting today, we're going to be using some 18 gauge for the twisting wire. Now, when it comes to wrapping and, well, when it comes to the weaving, I recommend using 26 gauge, which is 0.4 mil. This is what I used in the last basic skills video. Yeah, I recommend using that. But being me, because I've done some practice ones in that, I wanted to get the final one out and be brave and use a bit of 28 gauge, which is 0.3 mil as well. So if you're a beginner, use the 4 mil, 0.4 mil. Use the 26 gauge, because 28 gauge might snap on you. It might not. You never know. And as a beginner, I don't think you're going to snap the 0.4 mil. I very rarely ever do that. So I recommend, if you are a complete beginner, stick with the 26 gauge. But if you're feeling a bit confident and you want to bring it down and go for the final wire, yeah, drop down to that 28 gauge. Right then, let's start weaving. Right, before we move forwards, we just need to have a chat about how long is a piece of string. Again, another one of those things, isn't it? How long's a piece of wire? How much do I need? We're making a cuff. We're making a wrist, something to go around the wrist or the top of the arm here. Could be any size. Measure your wrist. Work it out. If you've already made something like this, you're going to know a rough measurement. I'm going to stick with the measurement and building something that's about 17 to 18 centimeters long. That's just about enough to go around my wrist. So that's what I'm basing on. I've got small wrists. So you might want to add a couple of centimeters. You've got thicker wrists. Or if you're thinking about putting it around the top of the arm, you're definitely going to add some more distance as well. So really, it's the judgment time as well. You're going to have to work this out and how many extra centimeters. But everything I do, all my measurements today will lead to a cuff before we bend it around of about 17 to 18 centimeters. Right then. Let's cut some wire and get the drill out and start twisting. Right, to start this bracelet off, we're going to do some twisted wire. So we want to start with our 18 gauge, and we want to cut a bit of 18 gauge to, let's say, 45 centimeters, between 40 and 45 centimeters. We're looking to make a piece of twisted wire of about 15 centimeters long. It's always worth cutting a little bit more. You can't add, but you can take away. So we're going to take that piece of wire. We're going to fold it in half. We're going to just put our finger at the other end like so. Then taking our flat nose pliers, you can do this by hand. Just twist it a couple of times at one end to hold it together. Just a couple of times. Excellent. Then we're going to grab our drill and we're going to twist the wire. Now, if you want to know more about twisting wire, I do have a whole video on it. There we go. In the corner, up there is the link. And there's a whole 15-minute video of me twisting wire. And I'll talk a lot more about it. Anyway, let's crack on and twist this wire. I'm going to place that, the end I fold in my finger, over the drill. Now, just grab a pen. Place it at the other end. Try not to stab yourself here. Like I'm nearly doing. And then twist. Right, I'm going to stop there. I'm not looking to twist loads. You can twist a lot tighter if you wish to. This is up to you. It comes down to your own preference here. But I'm looking to, when I hammer this, I want the twist to break and split so you get the little holes in the middle and it just looks a bit better as well. That's what I want. I'm just going to take it a little bit further. There we go. I'm happy with that. Take that off. Now we've done our twisted wire, we need to grab our block and our hammers, starting with the chasing hammer. Well, actually, before we go anywhere, let me get the sketchbook out. I've got something let me quickly show you hammering, really, because if you are a beginner and you're finding yourself here and you've never really done much hammering, there is a proper way to hammer. So when you're hammering, most of us have got a little tiny block. So what you're looking to do when you're hammering is you're just looking to overlap like this. So the whole wire gets a roughly an even hammering as well. So that's all you're looking to, overlap like that. How you do that is up to you. You can keep the hammer in one spot, move the wire along, or you can move along the wire. It really is up to you on that. Anyhow, I'm going to get hammering. And I'm going to hammer this until I basically see something I like, really. I'm looking to get holes in the middle and a nice shape. Right, let's get going. There we go. I'm pretty happy with that. That's looking pretty good. It's got a nice, yeah, that's exactly what I'm after now. So next step would be take your rubber hammer and then just using the rubber side, get this straight again. Just go along it, backs, sides and everything, and just start straightening it back up again. Just gently. Cool. When you're happy and you've got it relatively straight and flat again, grab your ruler and let's trim this to 15 centimeters. You might want your heavy duty pliers here. That time we'll get those out. Heavy duty cutters, not pliers, cutters. And like I said, you're trimming to 15. So actually, what we're looking to do here is actually, if you see here, I don't want to trim in between. So I want to trim on the end there. So I'm going to tidy up the other end a little bit better. Trim that. Just where the wires cross. And then measure from there. Ah, perfect. That's set there. I'm going to trim there. Excellent. Grab your file, and we want to start basically rounding the ends off, making them look neat and tidy. Take your time, do a good job of it. Now, when it comes to filing, my best tip here is you push forwards. The reason being is these teeth on the file are made a certain direction. Now, if you go back and forwards like that, when you're pulling back, you're going against the teeth, and all you're doing is damaging those teeth. So whenever you're filing, push forwards like so, and you'll be surprised how much quicker you'll get to where you want to get to. If you go back and forwards, you're going to take yourself a bit of time. But yeah, push. Cool. When you're happy with that and you're pleased with that, grab your 16 gauge wire and your cutters and your ruler, and let's cut some of that. This time, we're looking to cut about 35 centimeters. We can cut a little bit more. Let's cut 40 because we're going to do spirals at the end. We could change our design ideas. So let's cut 40. Let's keep to that kind of distance. Grab your marker pen and mark the center. Then grabbing your bell pliers. Now we want to bend around 2 mil size of the bell pliers here. And now this is where, you might not have these. Get your round nose pliers out. And about 2 mil, which is quite near at the top. So I'm going to line it up on my center mark, and I'm going to bend around. Nice and relatively tight. Cool. Grab your twisted wire and just check your sizing. Not too bad. In fact, might make it a little wider. Just pop it on the slightly wider bell. That might help. Yeah, pretty pleased with that. It's not too bad. I'll put in, once I start weaving, we shall get that sized. Perfect, right. Put those to one side. grab your ruler again. And this time we want to grab our 2mm wire, which 12 gauge, I think, if I remember right. Let me bring the chart up. 2mm is, 12 gauge. Yeah. Grab your 2mm wire. And again, now how much we want? Now, let's cut 40 again. Probably a little bit more than we actually need. Actually, probably is. We're going to probably need it. Let's cut 35. Let's just save some wire. Let's, cost of wire nowadays is quite expensive. So let's save a little bit of wire. We're going to cut 35. This is where you definitely need your heavy gauge cutters. And again, I'm going to mark the center of this wire. Now, if you've got a larger pair of bell pliers, you might need, or actually, this is where your round nose pliers will come in. So they are a little bit more tapered. And then we're going to bend round, and we want to be able to go round big enough to go around the outside of here. That's what we're looking to. So it's judgment time. Let's start halfway down. Can always make it bigger. Pop that inside, see how that looks. Oh, do you know what? That's pretty good. Pretty pleased with that. That's not bad. I'm just going to sit there and tweak it just for a quick second, see if I can get it a touch tighter, a little smaller. Excellent. I'm pretty happy with that. That's pretty cool. Grab a ruler and your marker pen. Now, mark down this wire 13 centimeters. Now, I know that our twisted wire is 15 and we're going to wrap 15 centimeters. But what we're about to do now is we're going to hammer this and we're going to texture it. And we're going to hammer it quite a bit. We're going to take it so it's definitely flat. So what will happen is, as we're hammering it, we're going to be stretching it. So if you were to mark at 15 and then hammer from down there, it's going to be way more. So at my practice sessions, I learned to come back by 2 centimeters. So that's why we're marking at 13. That's the distance. That's the bit we want to hammer. And mark the other side as well. So it just means that when we get to the end, our hammered wire stops and we got ourselves some nice rounded wire here just to finish off into spirals. Right. Grab your hammering block now and start hammering. And how much you hammer is up to you, really. I'm going to take it quite flat. So I'm going to start there and then go down. I'm going to have your marker pen ready as well, because what will happen is as you're going along, it's already happened as well, your marks will come off. It's worth having your marker pen handy to remark. When you're happy with how flat you want it, this is not looking too bad. I quite like this. Not too bad at all. Then you can leave it like it is, or you can texture it. Like I said, if you haven't got a texturing hammer, you could use the back of your chasing hammer, put some dents in it. But I'm going to be using a texturing hammer here. And this one's got, it's like squares. We've got lines on the other side, but we've got squares on this side. So I'm going to use this and start texturing this wire. There you go. You can just about, you can see the texture it's bringing on. A mottled kind of effect. And it's how far you go is up to you. That's got a nice flash to it. You can just about see that there. Right, I'm reasonably happy with it now. And so obviously you can see it's got itself a bit bent out of shape. So time to get the rubber hammer out and then just sit there and work it now until you get it straight again. There we go, all done. I do like using the textured hammers. It definitely brings a different effect in. I'm going to start using them a bit more often, I think. I actually quite like, what I do like about it, for me, it makes it look a little bit like it's old jewellery made by Saxons or something like that, where their casting wasn't so perfect back in the day. And I quite like that. I like that imperfection. I think it's quite good, and especially in modern times where we're going like perfect imperfection. You're going out of your way to make imperfection, but you're perfecting it. I quite like that. Right, let's get our wrapping wire out. Actually, no, before we get our wrapping wire out, let me get the sketchbook out and let me show you the weaving pattern we're about to do. Sketchbook time. Right, before we move on, I just want to draw you the figure of 8 pattern. Now, I know I've done this quite a lot over the last few videos, but I'm going to go over it again for the people who have found themselves on this video for the first time. So I want you to imagine we're looking down our wire here. This is the wire we're going to weave between. This is the outside hammered wire, and this is the twisted hammered wire there. So when you start weaving, now let me just draw the figure of 8 weave, the standard figure of 8 weave. Okay, you go around once, you come around the second time, you cross over. Go around once, come around the second time, cross over. There you go. That's the standard figure of 8. You can see the 8 there. So that's what we're about to do here. But what we want to do at the same time as going through this pattern is we want to bind these wires in at the same time. At some point, we're going to work that pattern out as we go along. That's up to you. Once you see me getting started, you'll understand a little bit better. But what we want to do is, as we're doing the figure of 8, we want to come out, go around these and bind them in. So how to do that? So the first thing I would suggest is the most important thing is that when you start your weave, you start wrapping the right way. So when you start, you're going to go around main wire and you're going to come that direction. The reason being you start that direction is at some point after so many weaves, you're going to want to join this in, this center wire in. And to join that center wire in, you need to be traveling around, you'll need to be wrapping around your wire a certain direction. So you need to go around this way, because as you come around here twice, you're going to come up to join this wire in, over the top of it, like so, down the other side, and round the other one, doing the once and coming around the second time. Now, what you'll find is when you get over to the other side, as if I bring it round here like this, you notice you're now wrapping the opposite direction to what you're doing here. So once you've gone round once, and you've come around the second time, cut straight across underneath that one. And what else that will do is that will obviously bring you back into the right direction, wrapping around this side, so ready to come back over it again. But what it will do is it will create something for it to sit on. So it's up to you if you want it protruding above your weave or if you want it to sit in the middle of the weave. That doesn't matter. But if you want it protruding above your weave, you're obviously looking to pull that tight straight across. So yeah, that's what you're doing. So as you come across, you go around once, come around the second time, back up and over, round once, round twice, cut across, back around to that side. So you don't have to go over this every single time. I'll get to that as well. Right, outside wires. So at the same time as doing that, just to confuse you a little bit more here, at the same time as you're doing that, you want to join these outside hammered wires that we've got. So it's the same thing. It's just a weave. So let's say you've come across to this side. You've joined that top one in. So you've come down here, gone round the once, and then you're going to just come out and then back in just once or twice. It's up to you how many times you go round that one. I'm probably going to go round twice. But that's all it is. You just come out once and then back into the weave as well. Now, what you want to make sure is that you haven't gone round twice, then come back out, because otherwise you'll come back in and go round 3 times. So it's sort of like mid weave. So go round once, come round the second time, out to the outside and back in again. And it's the same with this side as well. So go round once, come round the second time, out to that one and back in again, or around that twice, up to you. But that's all it is. It's just utilizing that figure of 8. And when we do that, it's kind of up to you as well. Right then, shall I get started? And then it's a lot easier to show you in practice, isn't it? Grab your components and your wrapping wire. For wrapping, for weaving, I'm going to be using some, well, it's not 30 gauge. I think that's European. 28 gauge, 0.3 mil, my favorite wire when weaving and wrapping. Now, I did use a 26 gauge, 0.4 mil in the last video and for the practice sessions of these. And there's nothing wrong with using that. And I did suggest to use that in tool talk. And if you're a beginner, yeah, go for it. It won't snap on you. Something like this might snap. It might not. So, but I'm going to go for it. And I'm going to be really honest with you. The main reason I want to go for it is I do a better job with this size wire. I've never been a fan of weaving and wrapping with 26 gauge. I can do it, but I do a much neater job when I'm using this size wire. So that's why I want to do it. I want to smash it out of the park and make this nice and super neat. Right then, let's start weaving, shall we? Right, let me just hold these together and have a quick chat about our weave pattern. Now, a decision to be made here for yourself, like I just showed you on the sketchbook. It's where do you join in? Where do you start adding them in? So if you have a look closely here, I'm going to join in, well, at some point where the twisted wire crosses. Well, whereabouts and how many times I do that, I'm going to make it up as I go along. And if you look at these ones here, so let's get this one out. You can see on this one here, I joined it every twist where it crosses. And at the same time, I came out and I joined the outside at the same time. So you can see what it looks like in that kind of a pattern. But really what you're looking here, it doesn't matter. So here you can see when I came to the outside, but I measured so far. And if you look very close on the side, you can't see because it's not polished yet, but I didn't join them. Well, there's the focus. There it is. I didn't join them every other time as well. And a bit tricky. But yeah, I quite like this as well. So you get, if you don't join it so much on the outside, you get more of this to see polished. So this is kind of up to you now. It really is. I'm not sure what to do. I think I might do now for this. So I might join the twisted wire in the center every second. No, I'm going to do every third one. And then I'll join the outside wires in the middle. So if we can can't get them to be staggered. Right then, let's start weaving. Put your bits and bobs, take that one away, put that to one side. And your twisted wire. Put that to one side and grab your wrapping wire. Now, my best tip here is just start up here and we'll just slide it down. And you're only looking to put in, 3 or 4 weaves. When I talk weaves, I mean talking, to me, that's one weave. When I'm talking to weaves, I've just done one weave. When I've wrap one side and moved to the other side. See, that easy to just slide it on down. And again, while you're doing this, you want tension, but you don't want to pull tight because you don't want this to happen. You don't want these to start coming in like that. So I'm just going to add in a few weaves. There we go. I'm going to stop there. About an even amount wraps per side. I'm going to take my twisted wire and I'm going to just place it over the top. I want to see how far I've got to go, really. Now, I'm going to want to join it in. I think that first one I'm going to actually join it in on the first one. There. So I'm pretty well much there. Right then. Let's get this joined in. Okay, I'm going to send this over so my wrapping's the right way. Now, I will say this. Time for some fingers and thumbs. So, going to just... There we go. So back into focus there. There we go. I'm going to have to pinch this down here. Now, hold this into place. And as you can see, I'm going to come over and down the other side, like so. It's going to want to do what it wants to do. I'm going to put my weave in. Once you've got it in a couple of times, trust me, it will stay there. It'll be a lot easier. See, I've gone over the top, put my weave the other side, and now I'm going to cut across to the other side. Let me turn this over. And there. See what I mean? I'm cutting straight across to the other side. There we go. Just go. There we go. See, I'm cut straight across to the other side. Then I'll put the weave in. Round once, round twice. Now that's, like, as you can see, that's brought me round. Let's just tighten that up. Ready to come back over the top if I wanted to. Oh, sorry, there's the focus. It's brought me around, ready to come back over the top if I wanted to, but I'm not. I'm going to add some more weaves in. So at this stage, once you've got that first little bit in, there we go, sorry, I'll get the focus here. Once you've got that first little bit in there, grab your masking tape and just trim yourself off a little bit. Not much. No more than 5 mil. And then just at the end, just to help you. Sorry, there's the focus. We're going to just go around with your masking tape. Just wrap that end in. It just really helps hold everything into place a little bit. Don't worry, you can come back and tidy your weaves up. It gives you something to hold on to as well while you're doing it. There you go. Just helps hold it in place. Now I'm going to carry on weaving for a bit. Take your time. One wrap at a time, making sure they're nice and neat. Get your fingernails in there, budge them down. I'm going to stop there, see where I am. There we go. Now, if I reach the center one there, no, I haven't. I'm going to add another couple more weaves in. Just want to be exactly in line. Oh, my masking tape's come off. It's okay. Everything's holding in place. There you go. I'm in line now. And that's where I want to join my outside wire in. So, grabbing your outside wire. Again, bit fingers and thumbs. Now, this is where it's all going to get messy. As you can see, you got wires everywhere. So, for the moment, I'm just going to gently spray out. Just gently, just get it out and just chuck so it's a bit easy to work with. There we go. That's all I'm going to do. Now, I'm going to join the outside wire in. There we go. I'm going to come around. Okay, so here we go. Come around once. Round once. As I'm coming around to the second time, I'm going to go to the outside wire. And I'm going to wrap around twice. Making sure it's nice and tight. Oh, sorry. Back into focus. Apologies. Got the overhead camera a little higher than I normally work with. And then I'm just going to turn it over so you can see what I'm doing. There you go. And I'm going to go back into the weave and cross over to the other side. Then do the same again the other side. So round once. Come around the second time. And then to the outside. See that? There we go. We look down the weave there. See, I've come to the outside. I'm going to wrap around twice. Come around a second time. And then back into the main weave. There we go. Look down the center there and see it. Let's get back out to the front and back into the main weave. There we go, sit and tuck it in. And now let's have a look at my pattern. Where have I joined that in? So let's have a look on that. I quite like it there. I've joined it in there. Oh, got 1, 2. We've come in on the third. Maybe I'll strap this in here. What do I strap in now? I'm going to strap in every one of these. So we've got every third. Yeah, let's strap it in. Make my life easier. There we go. I'm going to come over the top of that one. Now, this is a quick tip here as well. You'll find this might want to twist. Oh, sorry. There we go. There's focus. This might want to twist. Just be careful. It will want to twist. There we go. Can you see that? I'll go back into the weave. Around once. Come around the second time. Get fingernails in there. Tuck it down. Now I'm going to cut straight across. There you can see. There. And be careful, little gaps here might turn up. Just stop for a second. Get in there with your fingernail. Get in there with your tweezers. This is where your tweezers come in handy. Start budging everything down. Now I've started strapping that middle one in for the second time. It's going to be a lot easier to work with. It's like any weave. It takes a bit to get going. Once you got it going, you start flying. Right, there we go. I'm ready to now join the center wire back in again. Let's come over the top of that. There you go. You can start seeing my pattern now. So I'm going to, every 2 holes, I'm going to join the center wire in. Now the question is do I join the outside wire every 2, or do I leave a nice big gap? You know what? I'm going to leave a gap. So I think I really like this stuff, and I just want to get as much shine and polish on that textured, so you can see as much texture as possible. So yeah, I'm going to join the center one in now, and I will carry on weaving for another, let's call them 2 holes in that twisted wire, and then I will join the outside wire in again and show you me doing that. Let's go into a little bit of hyperactive mode here so we get there a bit quicker. Right, there we go. I've reached the next point to join in, and I'm ready to go over the top of the center wire there. Now, as I go over the top there, I will come back across, and then I will bind the outside wire back in again. So we're going to go over the top, come around to the other side. Oh. Just a second. There, go on, there we go. Now cut straight across underneath it. There we go. As the weave, you can see this, as the weave, as you get going with the weave, it does get neater. I'm a little bit annoyed with the front start. It's a little bit scrappy, but it's got neatened right up. Right, sorry, there we go. Cutting right underneath from the other side. Around the once. Come around the second time. Now I'm going to go out to the outside. This time, around 1. Come around the second time. Tidy up. Back into the weave the other side. Round once. That. Come around the second time to the outside. Twice. 1, 2. Make sure they're tidy. And then back into the weave. Get my pliers. There we go. Tweezers in. Tidy up. Now, you might find this, look, that's pulling in a little bit. You can see it's a bit tight. So I'm just going to gently tease it out a little bit as I go along. Just gently to try and keep that gap down the side, or roughly keep an even gap though. I don't want it pulling in too much. Okay. Excellent. There we go. That's my pattern now. I'm now going to crack on. Let's go into hyperactive mode and get this finished, shall we? There we go. We're all done now. Be pleased with that. Came out all right. Let's get a better focus for you guys to have a look at it. Yeah, not too bad. The only thing I wish I'd kind of done at the start there, I'd strapped in the outside wire here. Reason being is we're about to tidy the ends up. I'm going to show you why. I'm gutted I didn't do that. But it came out all right. I kept my pattern pretty well much all the way down. I didn't get out with a ruler. I just kind of just went by eye. I did add at the end here, as you can see, I added a couple of extra joins in. Just slightly went up the pattern here just to make sure the outside wire was tidying at the end, and as well as the inside wire there. So I did 2 just to kind of hold it in place. There you go, you can see. Right, let's tidy these ends up. What do we do with these ends, shall we? So let's start with this one, this end. I'm just going to trim off, leaving myself just a few inches, a few centimeters. I'm going to just wrap around one more time so I come to the back. Now, all I'm going to do is I'm going to wrap round. There we go. Let's get the focus. There we go. Sorry, there we go. I'm going to wrap round that once, maybe twice. Just bringing the wire back on itself. Round. Pulling tight. And I'll come back round again. And then just trimming off. Flush cut in and making sure that end is there. Should we trim the right wire up? There you go. just round there. One wrap. That's all you need. One, maybe two. As long as you go round, run your finger over. Make sure the end isn't sticking out as well, and that you're happy with it. Right, going back to the other end. Now, this is why I was gutted I didn't put any joins in here. Because now I've got to finish up. What do I do with this? Now, if this was slightly thicker wire, this was 26 gauge, 0.4, I would say you're probably safe cutting it off down in there. Where's the focus? Sorry, there you go. You're probably safe cutting it off down there. Because the thicker wires are harder to come undone. But the thinner wires, as you can see, they always feel a little bit looser. So in this kind of situation, that's not too far away. So I'm going to bring it back. You're not going to see it. It's going to be underneath. No one's going to see. Oh, well, there we go. Live on camera, I broke some wire. There you go. That's why 0.3 can be tricky. Right, now I'm going to have to trim it down there now. There we go. Now that's a mistake and a half to cut on camera there. Sorry, I'm looking for the focus here and I can't seem to find it. There it is. Yeah. Oh, well, I'm just going to trim it off around about there. Just go with it. Now, I would suggest if you're in the same situation, and this is not too far away, bring the wire back down here again and wrap round like I just showed you up this end. That's what really I wanted to do down here. It would have been a lot tidier to do. Anyhow, looking good. Yeah, right then. Let's do something with the ends here. So just going to go get some more tools. Right, I've got my heavy duty cutters. Right, before we move on, how big a spiral do you want to make here, really? It's really up to you. It's up to you completely. Here, if you have a look at these two here, you can see what it looks like with slightly bigger spirals. You can get the hammers out. You can really make them look quite cool. That's really up to you. It really is. Because I've done big spirals on these two, I've decided I actually just want to do something small here. Main reason being is I really like this. This is weaved quite well. It looks good, and I want it to be the focus, not so much the spirals at the end. So I'm going to trim these down. Not to... Oh, there we go. Get the ruler out. And I'm just gonna make just loops. I'm just going to bring them round down, and I'm going to just loop them round. So we've just got a loop. It's going to hammer them. I'm going to make them a reasonable size, not too small. But looking at them now, I'm thinking, yeah, I'm just going to trim them down to 2 mil. 2 centimeters. Just going to make a mark first. Then, making sure I flash cut as well. Making sure I don't trim the wrong wire. Go down to 2 centimeters. And because it's quite large wire, this is where I recommend getting the file out and spending that couple of minutes now. Just tidying the ends up. Slightly round them off. Just make them look good. Because, yeah, you're going to see them. Get rid of that step as well if your pliers, if your flush cutters have made it. Now, my best filing tips here, I did speak about this in the last video, but I'll talk about it again. It's push. Don't go back and forwards like this. The reason being is these teeth go one way and one way only. If you go back and forwards like that, all you're doing is blunting the teeth. So all files, all metal files, push forwards like so. Unless you buy one that says it does that, but no, as far as I know, they don't. So if you want your files to last longer, push forwards. And also, if you want to do the job quicker, push forwards. You'll notice how much quicker the job goes if you do the right thing. Pretty happy with those, not too bad. Could probably work on that one a little bit more, actually, just on the edge there. Be able to polish out those little scratches that you might see. Don't worry. And I get the polisher out. Right then. Happy with that. Not too bad. Quickly now turn these into loops. So I'm just using my chain nose here. And I'm just going to grab the tip. And because it is quite heavy gauge wire, I know this is it's going to bend. And I'm just going to bring them around, like I said, into loop so they meet. Okay. That's what I'm doing. Nothing heavy. Keep this one simple. I really do want the focus on being on the actual weaving pattern I've created. It's tough work working with that too, Mel. I must admit, if you do find it hard, I don't blame you. There we go. Looking right. All right. Now, do I hammer them? Do I not hammer them? Yeah, let's hammer them. Block out. Just going to take the edges. Just do the edges. I won't bother texturing them because I like that slight difference and you get a little bit, but there we go, see the flash. Yeah, I prefer that. Right. Now, these two. What to do with these two. Now, again, spirals. That's all I'm going to do, bring them in. But again, I don't want to, this is looking quite nice here. I just want to bring them in tight and just get them in so they just sit around this point here. And again, whatever length you fancy, but don't make them too big. Make them relative to what you're doing, you know. So those were 2 centimeters. I'm going to 2.5. Looks like I need to get new heavy duty cutters. They're starting to have a little, yeah, they're leaving quite a bit of a step at the front there. So yeah, oh, might be time for new tools. Oh, I love tool shopping. So again, just going to take the step off, slightly round it if it needs it. Not too bad. There we go. And now let's get again, just going to use my chain nose. I'm going to roll down towards. I'll stop there. Do the same the other side. Try and get them equal. Do each move at the same time, and then hopefully you get the symmetry. Now, before I roll down, this would be the time to hammer, but just purely because you cannot be able to hammer when it's over there. And it's now in a position where it's easy to hammer. Cool, I quite like that. That's looking quite cool. And let's just bring those on in a little bit. I'm going to use my chain nose again. Oh, getting a straight bit there. I'm not happy with that. Here we go. Again, some mistakes on camera. Just get my flat nose in there. See that? Just gently tease it back out again so I can sort something out. Actually, you know what? Now I've teased it out. I quite like it where it's sat there. That's where it's going to be. Let's do the same the other side. I won't bring it all the way down. There we go. Ah, there we go. Happy with that. You know what? I'm going to get the rubber hammer now. And just... There we go. That's helping. There we go. I'm happy with that. Let's take that minute and tweak. Everything's twisting a little bit. There we go. All right. Not looking too bad. Coming close. So there you go. All right. I'm happy with that. I'm going to stick with that. I quite like it. It all seems to work. And again, like I say, I didn't want to go over the top with the spirals like I had done with these. Because I just wanted to, yeah, I wanted the weaving to shine here. Right, I'm going to go grab the mandrel and let's get this bent round it. Right, here you go. I got a bracelet mandrel or a cuff mandrel. This thing's really, really heavy. Now I understand that everybody's going to have something like this. So either bend it round your wrist or find something that's solid, that's close to like wrist size. If you look down this, you can see the shape. Where's the camera? There you go. You can see the shape of it. It's kind of wrist size. So I don't know. Have a look around the house if you've got anything that you could bend round as well. Because you kind of, when making cuffs like this, you're going to want to hammer these bits here at the end here, just to bend around. It's quite heavy wire. So yeah, look for something around the house. A rolling pin might do the job as well. At least something to hammer it onto, get it onto, so you can bend the ends round. Anyhow, let me just show you what I'm going to do. God, these things are heavy. So yeah, place it on your mandrel, if you have one. Starting from the middle, bend round. Right. And it's a tricky job. That 2mm wire is tough, I will admit. I'm going to come down a little bit. And once you get round, get the rubber hammer out. Just get those ends over. There we go. Took a little bit of shaping. It come out all right. I'm quite pleased with it. It's looking pretty good. Yeah, quite pleased with it. Looks good. I love the textured effect on it. Can't wait to get that into a patina, which I'm about to do. So yeah, pretty pleased with it. So you see the inside there. Doesn't look too bad on the inside. That looks just as good, to be honest. Good tight weave. Now you can see why I like working with the 0.3. 28 gauge. I work better with it. I get a neater job compared to, well, it doesn't look too bad, but you can see not quite as tight. So that's the 26 gauge, 28 gauge. So that's why I like working with it, because I just do a better job with it. That's all. Brilliant. Right. Let's get some hot water, some liver sulfur, and let's go patina this. There we go. Pretty pleased. That's come out all right. There we go. You can see that, the effect the texturing has. I really like that. So when the patina gets on there, you can really see it. Oh, that looks great. Love it. A little bit more polishing to do. I think I might take this over to the other bench and get the Dremel drill out, give it a bit more of a polish, and then get some protector clear on it, ready for photographing. But there you go. Inside, it's not looking too bad. I decided to polish that and give that a good polish. Means no patina is going to come off on anybody's wrists. I left just a minimal amount of patina on there, just enough to highlight everything. That's what I was really after, especially that texturing. Awesome. Nice one. Excellent. There you go, buddy. Sorry for that amount of weaving. I know that was a bit laborious, but it counts towards the 10,000 hours. It will make you a better weaver by the end of it. Make a few of those cuffs, and I can guarantee your weaving will get better. Try with the finer wires as well. If you are finding like the 26 gauge and you're finding that to be not as neat, maybe come down to the finer wires like I do and use them, and you might find them to be neater. I do. That's why I use them. That's why I used it in this one, because I just wanted to get back to what I know instead of using that 26 gauge. It's all right. It's okay. Nice one. That's been good fun. So please join us in a couple of weeks more time where we will do another basic skills. And this time we're going to weave round corners. It's another skill I think you guys need to learn. And I'm not sure what we're going to make. Maybe a pendant, or we might turn it into earrings. I've got kind of the idea in my head. I just need to go and make it as well. And also what I did have while I was weaving this cuff, I come up with a really awesome design in my head, following very similar engineering to the cuff as well, which is really cool. And I don't want to spoil it because I want to go away, make it a couple of times. You might get a teaser of a photograph of it on Instagram or something. But yeah, I want to go and make it and then, bring it back to the channel. It'll be my first ever tutorial in this design as well. But yeah, I've made it in my head. I know it's going to work. I just need to go and wrap some wire. Nice one, people. It's been good fun showing you that cuff. I look forward to seeing all your efforts as well. Please share them on the community page or send me a DM on Instagram or Facebook or anything. Nice one. Look forward to seeing you all again soon back at the bench. Take care of yourselves. Bye-bye. As usual, I'd like a massive thank you to everybody out there who helps to keep this channel going, especially everybody over at Patreon and Buy Me a Cup of Tea. Your help goes a long way. It really does. I have very special thanks to Yasmin Khan, Wendy Cheverton, Vivian Hussey, Scuba K2, Sandra Lane, Ruby, Roxanne Coyne, Natty Beeder, Nicola Kim, Matthew Smith, Carl Fry, Joyce, Jill, Jennifer Smith, Jamie Cresty, Jennifer Harworth, Jennifer Roosh, Elizabeth Polk, Deborah Ensor, and Amanda Ryan. Your help goes a long way in keeping this channel going. I thank you.